This episode of On the Record is brought to you by Associated Equipment Distributors. I'm Executive Editor Kim Schmidt. Welcome to On the Record. Here's an update on what's currently impacting the ag equipment industry. While much of the focus in Texas currently is on rescuing storm victims, the agriculture industry is bracing for major difficulties, even though there hasn't been much time to calculate the losses. Texas Department of Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says in the 21-county area affected by the floods, hundreds of miles of fencing were lost, along with countless barns, outbuildings, and other farm structures. To put this in perspective, in a 24-hour period, enough water went down the river through Kernville that would equal that amount of water that goes through Niagara Falls in the month and a half, Miller told Fox News on July 7th. It was a 26-foot wall of water at 3 a.m. in the morning, and it caught everybody off guard. We've lost farm-to-market roads, bridges and utilities, irrigation systems were wiped out, crops are underwater, missing livestock, tractors underwater, implements washed away. We also checked in with Shoppa's Farm Supply, whose stores are well outside the flood area, but had suffered hurricane damage in the past, for some perspective. General Manager Eric Burrows told us the recovery is going to take a long time, and right now, all of the debris needs to be cleared manually while they continue to search for victims. Media reports said that yield losses were up to 40% in lowland areas of the affected counties, and there will be more problems with waterlogged pastures and contaminated feed supplies that will stress cattle, poultry, and swine operations. The Equipment Dealers Foundation, the charitable arm of the North American Equipment Dealers Association, is prepared to assist dealership employees who may have been impacted by the flooding in Texas. NAIDA's foundation created the Disaster Relief Program following the devastation from Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. For more information on donating to the fund or requesting assistance, visit equipmentdealersfoundation.org. This week's dealer on the move is RDO Equipment. The John Deere Dealership Group is expanding its Aberdeen, South Dakota location. The project will include a 23,000 square foot shop addition as well as a refreshed exterior. Now here's Noah Newman with the latest from the Technology Corner.
Thank you very much, Kim. Today in the Technology Corner, we are headed to the Flickner Innovation Farm in Mound Ridge, Kansas, where John Deere dealer Prairie Land Partners is teaming up with local farmer Ray Flickner on a huge See & Spray Ultimate trial. Product Innovation Specialist Brian Berggren is leading the charge on this one. He says smart spraying technology is gaining a lot of traction with as many as 50 See & Spray units being used in his coverage area. Now that's 30 more than last year and 46 more than 2 years ago. And Berggren says a change in John Deere's pricing structure could move the needle even further.
John Deere changed their strategy as far as the pricing structure. So right now, this season and moving forward, you're only getting charged for the savings, which means you're getting charged for the acres it does not spray. Okay, so that takes some of this equation out. There's such a thing as fallback mode. When the boom gets too high or you go too fast, it starts spraying solid in that section. So what that does is, that gets the price way down to an acceptable price point. And people want this technology. They want to be able to use this to, number one, save, chemical or money on chemical, and all of that to be responsible just a little bit with, what they're doing with the land. Nobody wants to spray chemical all the time. And this is really, I would say, gaining a lot of traction in the industry as a whole is moving this direction. They're coming fast, and there's lots of other companies developing this type of technology. I would say personally, I was very skeptical from the beginning because I've run a sprayer, for 20, 30 years and worked for some commercial applicators. And it never ceases to amaze me how sensitive it is. It sees more than we can see actually with our own eyes, and even moving at 12 to 15 miles an hour through the field, recognizing a crop versus a weed. It's unbelievable.
And Berggren, or Bergie as his customers call him, is looking forward to testing predictive ground speed automation on the combine at the Flickner Innovation Farm this coming fall. In the Technology Corner, I'm Noah Newman. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Noah. As of July 9th, corn prices were $3.99, down 11 cents from our last episode. Soybeans closed at $10.09, down 16 cents, and wheat closed at $5.47, up 19 cents. The North American Equipment Dealers Association's annual Dealer Manufacturer Relations Survey results are out, and Kubota Canada came out on top with the highest average mean score. Dealers are allowed to rate up to 7 manufacturers they carry and rank them based on their experience in 11 categories, including product quality, availability, and technical support, parts availability, quality, and return policy, communication, warranty, and marketing advertising support, with a separate rating for overall satisfaction. Respondents rate manufacturers on a scale of 1 to 7, where 1 is extremely dissatisfied and 7 is extremely satisfied. In addition to having the highest average mean score at 6.12, Kubota Canada had the highest score in all but one category, product availability, where it finished second behind Claas. Kubota Canada also saw its scores improve over last year in all but one category, product technical support. Also notable in this year's results, while New Holland had the lowest average mean score of the 7 main lines ranked at 4.38, it did show an improvement in all but one category. It also had the highest improvement in average mean score, up 4.5% over 2024. The one category in which New Holland saw its score drop was marketing and advertising support, and it was down the most of all main lines at a drop of 15.76%. We'll have more extensive coverage on the mainline OEM's results in the July issue of Ag Equipment Intelligence, and we'll break down the short-line manufacturers' results in the September issue of Farm Equipment. Sandhill Global's released its June market reports on July 7th. Despite a 2.69% month-over-month decrease and a 6.48% year-over-year decrease in June, used combine inventories are trending sideways according to the report. Asking prices, on the other hand, are trending upward, posting a modest month-over-month decline of 1.07% and 0.04% year-over-year increases in June. Auction values decreased by 2.65% month-over-month, were up 6.78% year-over-year, and are trending up. The EVI spread for used combines increased to 44%, remaining lower than the peak values observed in 2015, Sandhill Global said. This week's DataPoint is brought to you by the Dealership Mind Summit, July 29th and 30th. To learn more and to register, visit dealershipmindsummit.com. The share of acreage for major U.S. crops, wheat, corn, soybeans, and cotton, managed using no-till and reduced-till practices has increased over time, according to USDA. Survey responses from farmers show that no-till and reduced-till increased the most for wheat compared with corn, soybeans, and cotton. Survey data also shows that the share of acreage under no-till increased each survey year for corn, but shares have leveled off for cotton and wheat and have been variable for soybeans. As always, we welcome your feedback. You can send me comments and story ideas at kschmidt@lesternmedia.com. Until next time, I'm Kim Schmidt. Thanks for joining us.